of them all, the 2010 Rose Bowl game. Coverage begins New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC. The Rose Bowl lives here.
Back on our college football bowl selection special, the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. No drama here because Pac-10 champion Oregon, Big Ten champion Ohio State. Ohio State hasn't been to the Rose Bowl since New Year's Day of 1997. Now, in the interim, they played for the national championship. They won the Big Ten 5 years in a row, but whether it be because of BCS championship game appearances or the year that the Rose Bowl itself hosted the national championship game and moved the Buckeyes, they just haven't made it to Pasadena. Now they do. This ought to be a great matchup of strength on strength. Great Buckeye running defense, Jesse, against an Oregon rushing attack that's explosive.
Well, Ohio State's been phenomenal all season long against the run. They're giving up only 83 yards a game, but they're going to be faced with the zone read concepts of Chip Kelly's spread offense. And Jeremiah Masoli may be the perfect weapon in this system because he's a threat to throw and break contain, but he's also a very, very physical runner. Unlike other quarterbacks, he does not slide, he does not get out of bounds. He will hunt you up in the backfield and run you down and run you over. On the flip side, LaMichael James, arguably the most explosive running back in the entire country. He came into this last weekend leading the country in runs over 20 yards, and to add a further dimension in the Civil War, we saw the reemergence of LeGarrette Blount. 9 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown in that game. That adds physicality. It's a change of pace, and yet something else that Ohio State defensively has to prepare for.
Ohio State's defense are the 5th-ranked run defense. Cameron Hayward, he's done a terrific job. They're going to have to block him in the middle. But the good thing about Ohio State is in practice, they've got a guy that can emulate the Oregon offense. And that big guy, Terrell Pryor, he's about a foot taller than Jeremiah, but at least he's fast. He can run the spread option. It's something that they can practice against in practice to get ready to face this Oregon offense and their great rushing attack.
Well, they go against them also when they play Northwestern and sometimes Illinois. And not a question of being able to defend this, being able to tackle the people that have the ball. But Ohio State has some weapons as well. I think Pryor is a vastly underrated quarterback. I think he's progressing tremendously. But like Jesse said earlier in the program, they have geared him down a little bit. But in order to beat Oregon, Ohio State's going to have to open up its entire offensive playbook. You can't play very, very conservatively, and that's what they have done a lot in a very big game. But against Oregon, you're going to have to use all the press.
Ohio State averaging over 225 rushing yards now in those last 5 games, like you mentioned, Coach. Lots of high percentage passes by Terrell Pryor, and he's been efficient. He hasn't made that many mistakes during that stretch. 6 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions. This is an Oregon defense, though. Nick Aliati, the defensive coordinator, he can dial up pressures. Lots of speed on that side of the football, and it's a good challenge for this Ohio State offense.
You guys talked about the challenge for the Big Ten, too. There's some pressure on the Big Ten to perform. I know the Buckeyes almost beat Texas last year, but they need to get over the hump and will win some of these games, and the Rose Bowl will be a perfect place to start with.
Did you see 1917? Contrary to what you believe, I want more than that. That's the last time Oregon won the Rose Bowl was 1917.
Well, they were there last. They played that Penn State team that finished undefeated after the '94 season.
They didn't win.
They didn't win.
They got to win this. And I want to tell you, I don't think you can give Chip Kelly near enough credit. Here's a team that was absolutely devastated after the Boise State game. You go into halftime, first game, you're head coach, you got a great team. You don't have a first down. And Lord knows they get beat, they get embarrassed, but he brought them back, and they just played magnificent.
Chip Kelly, 3 years removed from being the offensive coordinator at New Hampshire. I'm just saying, in his first season as head coach, he has them going off to the Rose Bowl. Coach, you just mentioned it. What he's had to deal with on the field and off the field. Of course, there's the infamous punching incident with LeGarrette Blount after the game with Boise State. I thought Chip Kelly handled that remarkably well. He gave him an opportunity to come back and play. When you look at what Chip Kelly's done on the field and off the field, in my opinion, this is the coach of the year.
What was the last BCS Bowl game Ohio State won, Reese? Who did they play?
I believe that they played. Let's see, the last one they won was national championship.
National championship.
Oh, no, I take it back. They beat Notre Dame.
Thank you.
That's right. Brady Quinn, Charlie Weis' first year. The Big Ten hopes to have Ohio State put a capper on